Hello everyone, this is Karst, and welcome back to Kingdom Come Deliverance. So, there's a bit of a story with regards to how this episode is going to go. I actually played through part of the this upcoming quest already, but accidentally lost the footage. So I had to restart, but then after that, I had a very long work week. So I personally haven't played in at least like a week. So a lot of the information is going to be in and out of my brain. I didn't actually end up completing the quest during my playthrough. I got like partway through. I actually got the skill to, what was it? Speech to 20 achievement actually during the time I played. But obviously this is from before that point in the game. So I'm going to hit speech 20, but I'm not going to get the achievement, unfortunately. But at any rate, let us quote-unquote return to Johanka after our forced our first path of penance, our forced walk of shame, and find out what's going on.
Around here for? Clear off.
I am not snooping around. I am standing up straight and not crouching. You also have some interesting armor that I kind of want to steal. Where's Johanka?
Where's Johanka?
She's locked up at the rat house. Orders of the bishop.
Locked up? For what?
Honestly, it was a
Writing
matter of
speeches.
time. Yeah.
Run along now. If you want to chat about it, go and talk to that monk who smells like an apothecary shop. He's in a flap about it too.
I would imagine so. Nicodemus would be quite upset about this turn of events. But yeah, of course. I was actually saying this in the previous episodes too. I was like, okay, well, I feel like claiming to speak for the Virgin Mary or like some other religious figure, especially in medieval times, is not the best idea. And of course, this eventually did come to pass. Are you okay there, brother Nicodemus? Oh, thank you for waking up and talking to me.
Nothing good, I'm sorry to say. She was locked up by the papal inquisitor Bishop Yaroslav of Benishov. It seems he somehow caught wind of this preaching of hers. He's accused her of
somehow.
spreading
Only
heresy
everyone everywhere
and
is
has her
talking about
placed
it.
under arrest.
What will happen next?
Jesus Christ. What's going to happen to her?
I don't know, Henry. It all depends on the Inquisitor and how he decides. The accusations brought against Johanka are very serious.
We have to do something.
Well, we must do something.
Well, you can try talking to Bishop Yaroslav. He can tell you more. As a servant of the royal hetman, your name ought to carry some weight with him. But watch your step. This matter is entirely in the hands of church law, so you mustn't overestimate your lay authority here.
Yep. So don't say things that will piss off the church. Understood. The funny thing is, I've been playing for so many episodes of KCD, and I still don't actually know what Royal Hetman means. I know that's what Radzik is, but I'm literally like, what does that make him exactly? Like, is he a general? Is he a... He's not really a... I don't know. He had his own castle. He had his own area. He basically ruled Skalitz and the silver mines, but I don't know what that title actually means. Talk to the Inquisitor.
Right. I'll go and see this Bishop Yaroslav of Benishov.
May God go with you.
Yes, sir.
And thank you, Henry. I'm glad you're standing up for Johanka. If you need anything, do come and see me.
Will do. Thank you. About Johanka and the Inquisitor. Where can I find this Inquisitor?
Where can I find this Inquisitor?
He's staying here in the monastery grounds. His quarters are on the upper floor.
Yep. What happened with her?
What actually happened here?
Johanka told me you went to Auschwitz.
Yep.
Yeah?
She forced me
What's
to
that
go
got
on
to
a
do with
shameful
anything?
walk
The Inquisitor showed up
in my
here not
bare
long
feet
after you left.
and a
Apparently
crappy
he
robe.
heard about Johanka's preaching somehow. He even observed one of her sermons outside the town in disguise. He had her brought to him and spent a long time trying to discourage her from what she was doing. But then she went out again to preach about her visions outside of town. But before she even started, the Inquisitor turned up with Fabian and the guards.
Should I know who
He said
Fabian is?
Johanka had ignored his outright
Oh,
ban,
yes, the father
and he had her taken
in the
away.
town. Yeah.
Then he warned the people there that Johanka was spreading heresy and undermining the church's authority, and forbade them to listen to her.
Haven't you spoken to him? I guess he shouldn't, right? Because he gets outranked by several... He's just a monk. Or, yeah, he's just a monk here. And this is like the bishop.
That's all. Didn't you speak to the Inquisitor?
No.
Or sorry,
actually, I
Inquisitor.
didn't. He saw me there listening to her
Oh,
preaching.
that's even worse, yeah.
I was afraid to come forward and talk to him.
Aha. Well, that's understandable.
Thanks.
It sounds pretty serious.
Oh, it is pretty serious.
It is. I'm afraid it could be very serious indeed.
I mean, if it's like heresy, she can be burned at the stake, right? The Inquisition?
What exactly does an Inquisitor do?
The Inquisition is a papal institution that deals with heresy.
Yep.
So people don't succumb to charlatans, false prophets, and
That's a word being
deceptions.
thrown around that I was
Faith in
afraid
their
that
immortal
Johanka would be
souls in
called, and
jeopardy.
here we are.
The Inquisitors have all sorts of powers, the kind we here can do very little to stand up to.
And what can he do to Johanka?
I'm not entirely sure. These legal issues
Bad
are
stuff
very
is the answer.
complicated, but he could certainly excommunicate her, and maybe even sentence her to death.
Yeah. Sentencing to death is the first thing I think of, because that other guy that we helped, for Hanush, like, he's like, oh, those Waldensians, those heretics, I must kill them. Right? So, like, we're kind of in a situation like that right now. About this Bishop Yaroslav. Oh, he is a bishop.
Who is this Bishop Yaroslav?
I've never heard of him before, but the prior has. He said he's very well learned and the Bishop of Sarepta.
Sarepta?
So where now?
Where's that? Moravia?
No, it's far, far away, near the Holy Land. He got the title from the Holy Father himself.
Sarepta, what's that?
And this bishop came all the way here from whatever.
Sarepta, but I doubt he's ever been there. It used to be a bishopric in the days of the Apostolic Fathers in Phoenicia, near Israel, but it was ransacked by the Muslims.
How long ago?
Now it's just a titular bishopric. And Yaroslav is the titular bishop.
Is this, like, if this is centuries ago, I don't know when this was. Is this like titular bishopric, handed down just by the Pope, or like, is there a succession? Like, I'm very curious. He's a titular bishop.
Titular bishop? Like he's not a real one?
It's, let's say, an honorary title.
Yeah.
It refers to a diocese that no longer exists. And since a titular bishop has no diocese to oversee, he can devote himself to handling other very important church affairs, like ordaining other prelates, for example, to maintain succession through the centuries down from the time of Christ and his apostles.
Okay. I don't know how this really works, but sure. Why not? I don't think that's going to be relevant in this specific case either way. Do you believe Johanka?
Do you believe Johanka is really being visited by the Virgin Mary?
Well, yes, Henry, I do.
Mm-hmm.
The things she says and the way she speaks. She doesn't sound like herself at all. I know she can't read, so where else could she have got it? Frankly, I can't think of any other explanation.
See, sometimes
Within the bounds
when I'm
of
playing this game, I
world.
forget, right? Like, this is like medieval times. Most of the peasants cannot read. And here she is preaching and telling stories and speaking in a different way from her normal self, right? Like, okay, I can see why people would be convinced.
See you later.
All right, see you later. You can go back to bed now, sir. So I have to go and talk to the bishop. I believe he actually lives directly above where Johanka used to chill out. So, that said, I think it might be a bit too early in the morning to talk to him. Oh no, he might be awake. Door's open. Hello? Hey, are you willing to talk? You are.
Sir,
Nice.
I am...
Henry of Skalitz,
That's me.
from the garrison of the royal hetman, Sir Radzig Kobyla.
Yep,
I've heard a
whatever
lot
that
about you,
means.
my son. I'm pleased to meet you.
How do you know who I am, anyway? I am some peasant.
Bishop Yaroslav? Sir?
And you just got
my
here.
lord, to what do I owe your interest in my...
Quite literally, why am I important
I
to
was
you,
told
other
you
than being the main
survived
character?
massacre in Skalitz and warned the Townburg garrison. You tracked down the raiders of a stud farm in Neuhof, wasn't it? To their hideout in the woods.
I did.
Then you led Sir Radzig and his armed company.
But how is this
there,
relevant to
joined
your
bravely
investigation
in
at all?
skirmish.
Like, why did that
You
even
killed
pique
their
your interest?
Notorious leader by your own hand, and I believe you have many other deeds to your name. That's quite remarkable, considering your age, is it not?
I suppose so. I don't know how old I am. Maybe mid-20s? Early 20s? You're too kind.
Well, you're too kind, Monsignor. I'm just trying to do what's right, and what's needed.
Quite rightly, too, my son. I expect we'll be hearing more about you.
Yep,
But I
probably.
assume you didn't come here to exchange pleasantries.
At this time of
Or am I
recording,
mistaken?
KCD2 comes out in about a week and a half, I think. I don't have much time. I'm here about Johanka. I don't think accusing him of imprisoning Johanka is the way to go.
No, Monsignor, you're quite right. I'm here about Johanka.
Naturally. I'd be quite surprised if it were otherwise. So, tell me what's on your mind.
Well, how did you find out about Johanka?
How
Because
did
everyone's
you find
talking
out
about her.
Johanka?
Word came to me of what was happening here. That some young girl was claiming to speak for the Blessed Virgin. I traveled here immediately, as my duty demanded, and observed events in Sasau incognito, in order to examine the matter at first hand.
I see.
And what did you find? Why did you have her imprisoned?
Why did you have her imprisoned?
Because she broke the promise she made to me.
Yeah, see, here's the fun
persisted in
part.
actions that
They
bear the
actually
signs of
discussed this
heresy.
over first, right? He was like, hey, stop doing that. And she just disobeyed him. Like, he has the authority of the church. He's literally like, hey, I'm going to give you a warning. Please stop doing what you're doing. And she's like, nah, I'm going to do it anyway. And of course he ended up imprisoning her. What will happen to her now?
And what will happen to Johanka now?
I must weigh the gravity
She
of
was
her
warned,
transgressions
so.
and investigate these alleged visions of hers. I consider it very improbable that she is indeed being visited by the Blessed
We know she's
Virgin.
very headstrong, since I also
Nevertheless,
talked to her about this
I
before,
cannot
too.
at this time
And lost reputation
rule it
with
out
her.
entirely.
That would mean she's innocent. When will you decide? Well, I can't assume that she's innocent either, right? I'm going to say it anyway.
So you think it could be true?
Oh,
In that
that's
case,
interesting.
Johanka hasn't done anything wrong.
It's not that straightforward.
Yeah.
Even if her visions were real, she was at fault for interpreting them as she saw fit and preaching to the people.
Understood. Yeah. When will you decide? That would be questioning his authority, so.
When will you decide, Monsignor?
As soon as I am fully informed of the facts. Although it seems the matter is a little more complicated than I first thought.
How
I
so?
will call Johanka and the witnesses, question them, and then pronounce a verdict.
Are you planning to burn her at the stake? Will anyone defend her?
And will there be anyone there to defend Johanka?
Do you doubt my judgment?
I would never be so bold, sir. But surely it would be only just that someone should speak for Johanka about all her good deeds and so forth.
Naturally, I will also question those who would speak in her defense. Since you are interceding, I expect you have someone in mind?
Yes.
Actually, me.
I can be a
As I
character
surmise.
witness.
But this matter does not directly concern you. Why should I allow you to appear before the court?
So here's the fun part, right? Thank goodness I invested in the speech stuff. Because I probably would have gone with I represent Sir Radzik and would have failed right off the bat. So, it's my Christian duty.
Johanka is my neighbour, and I have a Christian duty to come to her aid. I can't just stand by and do nothing.
I have to concur with you on that.
Good.
Your concern seems sincere, so I will grant your request.
Thank
Very
you.
well. You will defend Johanka.
I wonder if there's
You may
ever a
speak in her defense if you
situation
so
or
wish.
like a
You
scenario
may
in which he
also
just
bring
doesn't let you
witnesses.
do it.
I will
And he just
question any
does his
such
entire
witnesses,
investigation on his own.
And naturally, I shall question Johanka too.
Thank you, Monsignor. In that case, I'll need to speak to Johanka first.
That won't be possible. It's forbidden by the Inquisition procedure. Until the entire matter is resolved, Johanka can speak only to me and no one else.
Well, that's concerning. Demanding to speak to her is probably going to get me in trouble, so...
I would like
Awkward
to expedite
silence.
the matter. The trial will take place in Sasau Church in 3 days' time at the latest. Come and let me know when
Okay,
you're ready
time
to
limit.
proceed.
Not that I was
In the
doing
meantime,
anything
I will
else anyway,
continue
so
my
that's fine.
investigation.
Very well, Monsignor. I had better get on with it then, sir. Farewell.
Before you go, you know Johanka longer than anyone else. You spent a lot of time with her, as I've discovered.
Well,
Tell me, my son, truthfully.
I know her from the
do you
town.
think of
I
this
didn't
whole
actually
thing?
hang out with her. That was Teresa. You should ask Teresa these questions. What did you ask me? Oh, just to tell you more about her? Yeah, I'm gonna feed you character witness material, like I said. She helps people here.
Johanka helped a lot of people. She worked her fingers to the bone helping Brother Nicodemus with the sick and injured.
That is certainly commendable. What else can you tell me about her?
She's honest.
Johanka is an honest girl and virtuous.
Let's not talk about the part where she told Teresa to steal like her crush's
Good.
dice.
Please continue.
Okay, let's not talk about that part. Or she's honest except for that. Totally. She's concerned about Matthias. Why is that a thing that I should tell him? She's just a simple girl. Definitely don't think I should be going to she's doesn't treat everyone the same.
Well, before, in Skalitz, Johanka was sort of, well, just a simple village girl. I never imagined I'd hear her talk in the way she does now. She's completely transformed.
Yep. So this gives
simple
credence to the
village girl.
potential that she could be getting
I see.
visions and
continue.
enlightened visions. So that's helpful. I think I should tell about the affair with the custodian because that is 99% going to come up during the during the investigation.
Well, Sir Sebastian took a fancy to Johanka and made certain advances towards her. And I think she might have got involved with him.
Sebastian von Berg? The custodian?
That's him.
But to my knowledge, the man is married.
But it's all over now. She's finished with him, really.
So, the gossip about her fornication here is truthful. What else can you tell me?
The Virgin Mary.
About the Virgin Mary.
I have to say I believe it, or else he's gonna couple.
I believe the Virgin does visit her. Johanka is honest. She wouldn't lie about such a thing. And the things she says sound truthful and compelling. It really does seem like a heavenly revelation. Who else could it be from? But the Virgin Mary.
The origin of these so-called visions of hers must be investigated. But thank you for your candor. Is there anything else you can tell me?
I will tell you that she's concerned about Matthias. I really don't know. She doesn't treat everyone the same. Like, why? That might go against her, wouldn't it?
She's worried about Matthias. He's from Skalitz too, and she's very fond of him.
I think I will say it, actually.
He was wounded in a raid on Merhoyed recently.
I think I will say it. Because maybe it's going to be like, oh, she listens to everyone carefully and treats everyone as an individual. That might build towards her as a character as well.
Anything
Very
else?
concerned about this last one. She doesn't treat everyone the same.
Maybe. She didn't treat everyone equally. She took better care of her former Skalitz neighbours than of the other patients, of course.
It's understandable, yes. Some people are dearer to her than
Okay, maybe I shouldn't have brought that up.
But
That was
by
bad.
doing so, she sinned. Anything else, Henry?
That's about all I can tell you.
Thank you, my son. One more thing before you go. Let me remind you that it's your Christian duty to report anything suspicious going on concerning the Church and the true faith, if you're aware of anything of the sort in these parts. If you prove yourself a commendable servant of the Church, I would also take that into account in judging Johanka's case.
Okay,
All right,
that's good.
Monsignor. I'll bear that in mind.
Farewell.
I do have things to tell you, sir. Also, I heavily regret mentioning that she doesn't treat everyone the same, because I actually knew better than to do that when I first played through this, when I was trying to record the first time around. I was like, oh, maybe that's a bad idea. And then I just convinced myself, oh dear. I hope that doesn't screw me. There have been some suspicious activities, actually.
Monsignor, I've heard of various irregularities in the province that might be of interest to you.
Very good, my son. A good Christian certainly shouldn't conceal such things. Please, speak.
I don't know. I don't even know who Simon the Hermit is. The Waldensian is a thing.
There were Valdensians hiding in Ujitz.
Really? And how did you find out about it?
Sir Hanush sent me to help the vicar track them down and catch them.
So, Sir Hanush had an interest in finding them?
Well, sort of, but not really. I'm going to say yes. Just so Sir Hanush sounds good to him.
Yes, that's right.
Sounds good to the church.
I'm pleased to hear it. It's not always possible to see eye to eye with secular lords in such matters. And how did it end up with the members of the sect?
They fled.
Okay, so that is
Vicar is still
confirmation
trying
that
to track them
they
That's
they did make it out.
unfortunate.
So maybe the tooltip
Let's
I
hope
got
the
saying that
vicar
they were captured
succeeds
was
promptly
wrong.
in his mission.
Let's hope so. The Devil's Skull at the church construction site. That's relevant. I don't want to snitch on the women. I don't know who Simon even is. So if I don't remember who that is, I don't think it's relevant. Devil's Skull does sound like something important, and I don't know what you mean by irregularities inside
A
monastery
demon's
walls.
skull was found on the church building site.
Yes, I heard something about it. A disturbing report. Tell me what you know about it.
It was a deception, sir. Someone made it with evil intentions, to frighten people. I found the skull and brought it to the local knacker. He confirmed it was a human skull with animal horns stuck on.
You did the right thing, Henry,
Thank you.
in uncovering the deception and in telling me about it.
Irregularities inside the monastery walls. Is this talking about the potential of the counterfeit coins? Maybe. But I also have to keep in mind that Johanka works, technically, for the monastery, so this could go against her if I tell him this. I think I'm going to hold off.
That's all, Monsignor.
All right, Henry, thank you. But I hope you're not keeping anything from me.
Nope, definitely not. So why did you have her in prison? I guess we've already been through this.
Why
but...
did you have your
Oh,
in prison?
okay, there you go. There's a speech
I
level
talked
up.
to her for a long time about the things she was saying and about her convictions. I warned her that she had to stop preaching in public. And I told her if she had any further concerns, or, as she claims, visions, she should come to me. Johanka chose to ignore my warning and continued with her preaching.
Yep,
Obviously,
and that's why she
couldn't
got thrown
turn
in
a
jail.
blind eye to that kind of disobedience.
Makes sense. What's wrong with what she was saying?
But what's so bad about what you
She wasn't authorized by the
Look
church
here.
to say those things
It's
to the
simply
public.
unacceptable that anyone at
Yeah,
all should
exactly.
come along and stand up in the market square and preach about God's will or how he or she interprets it. God gave us his teachings, which we must honor, and he showed us how to fulfill them. It is only those teachings that lead us on the path to salvation and God's grace. But understanding those teachings is no simple matter. It demands learning, time, and effort. That is one of the tasks of Holy Mother Church. What Johanka has been saying is dangerously close to heresy. She must
Which
be
is very
brought to
bad.
see the error of her ways, and her disruptive actions must cease.
She hasn't done anything against God. I feel like I would get in trouble for saying that.
But
Gonna
Johanka
say it
hasn't
anything.
done anything agagst God. On the contrary.
Yeah, but she's not authorized.
trying to
That's the
redeem
point.
sinners.
This is a
Perhaps
bureaucracy.
She's also incited disobedience
Yeah.
to the nobles.
Of
That
course.
is a serious accusation.
She offended the
Think
rich.
of it like this. You have to pass through a dark forest filled with hazards.
Yeah, once you offend the
Many
rich,
paths
you know how
lead
it
to that
goes.
forest, but only one will lead you safely
The
through.
story as old as
You know
time.
which is
Still
the right
relevant.
path, but others don't. Would you show them the right path, or leave each to choose his own and very likely lose his way?
Let everyone find their own path. I show them the way. Whether they take it or not is up to them. Yeah,
I'd show them the right path, but it would be up to them whether to take it or not.
still
But
human choice.
then many would lose their way and die.
Well,
Because
that's
of
their
you.
fault. They
You're
made a
to deserve
decision.
God's mercy and grace. We cannot allow that to happen. You must understand.
I mean, yeah,
It is
very
the
different
mission of the
viewpoints, right?
church to care for the
I'm
soul
literally
of
like,
every
look, the
person.
goal is here. I've given you
It's
the
our
way to get
sacred
there.
duty to
You know
lead
what the
people to
idea is.
salvation.
Whether or not you choose to walk for, like, to follow the path or walk into the woods and die is up to you. Johanka showing people the right path. I can't assert that, though, can I? How does the church know what's right? I also definitely should not be saying that because that questions the church as an entity and then he's going to get upset. I feel like both of these would be bad. Because saying that Johanka is showing people the right path, like, how do I know that? And then maybe he's going to start investigating me. Alright, fine.
I understand, my lord.
Yeah, see,
I'm
there
a
you
good
go.
Christian, and I don't doubt the authority of the church.
Good. I'm glad I got through to you.
Right. But the Virgin Mary visits her, allegedly.
But Johanka was visited by the Virgin Mary. So what she says can't
Okay,
be
but
wrong.
how do you...
We
Okay.
only have her
Exactly.
word for that. And even if her visions were real, she was at fault for interpreting them as she saw fit and preaching to the people.
Fair enough. But the Virgin Mary...
But how? If the Virgin Mary told her.
As it says in Galatians, but though we, or an angel from heaven, preach any other gospel unto you than that which we have preached unto you, let him be accursed.
I feel like going with this will make me sound like a simpleton, and then he's going to question my validity as a witness or a lawyer. I'm basically a lawyer right now for Johanka. I think I get it.
I think I understand.
Good.
Did you only come here on account of Johanka? I'm definitely not defending her in a duel. That will definitely not work.
Monsignor, Johanka is just a simple village girl from Skalitz. Are all these legal proceedings really necessary?
They are. The mission of the Inquisition is quite unequivocal, and however trivial, this matter has a broader significance.
What broader significance?
This is going to set precedents.
No offense, but these things can't easily be explained to an uneducated boy like you. Still, I'm pleased that you take an interest. Unfortunately, I don't have time for this now. If you really want to know more, ask my assistant. After all, it is also our duty to guide others through the labyrinth of this world.
Thank you. All right. So during recording, or I say during recording, during my attempt at recording the first time around, I actually forgot to talk to his assistant. I don't know where his assistant is. Probably downstairs somewhere then, having a nap. But I actually completely forgot about the guy. So I would like to correct that mistake by actually finding him this time round. Is this trespassing? It is not. Well, that's good. Adela, Inquisitor. Can I talk to you about this?
Adela, the Inquisitor is going to try Johanka in court.
Oh, Lord. I hope she's acquitted.
Me too.
I was absolutely devastated when they took her away.
I need people to speak in her defense.
Oh.
And I'd like to ask you to do it.
I don't want to go there.
I haven't even
Really?
triggered that conversation with
I'm
Nicodemus
afraid
yet,
of
but
that
okay.
Inquisitor. But
I'm looking for witnesses.
you helped me, and so did Johanka. It's only right that I should try and help her. But what am I supposed to say there? I'm just a simple village girl. I don't know anything about these things.
Just
That
be
doesn't
yourself and give a
Just be
character,
yourself.
again, another
Should be
character
enough
witness.
To talk about
Yeah.
all the good Johanka does here, and how she helps others. I'll send for you if you're needed.
All right.
All right, see you
Thanks a
later.
lot.
Thank you. So yeah, I was about partway through the this recruitment quest when I discovered that I had failed, basically, in my recording. Okay, Inquisitor's assistant. Hello there. Okay, never mind. Guard. Hello there. No. Okay. Well, let's pull up my quest. So, oh, okay, actually I do need to get everyone's testimony, so that's perfect. Nicodemus? Nope. Sorry, that was not Nicodemus. That was, in fact, Johanka's room.
Brother Nicodemus.
Hello there.
You've heard something?
I've heard a few things,
The
actually.
Inquisitor has decided that Johanka will be tried, but he's agreed that I can defend her.
That's really quite unusual. It must mean he hasn't come to a clear conclusion yet.
Yes. I'll get her out of it.
I'm afraid it may not be that easy. The thing is, I expect Johanka will say the same things before the court that she's been preaching.
What are you saying?
And that would be a very bad thing, yes.
Well, I've been thinking about what she's been saying, and it seems to me her preaching has a certain progression. Are you acquainted with the notion of the three orders of man?
Nope.
Not really, no.
It's like this. It's said that everyone has their God-given place and purpose on earth. Laboratores, oratores, and bellatores. Those who work, those who pray, and those who fight. The common folk are born to work, to reap the fruits of the earth, and to obey the laws of God and man. It is the purpose of the nobles
And of
to
course-
protect the people and the church against
It's
all
their
dangers,
purpose.
and to
Mhm.
maintain peace
They're working
and
hard, I
justice
promise.
on earth. And the church, in turn, has the task of caring for
Lording
the
over,
spiritual
you know,
welfare of
lording
all,
over the common folk
ensuring
and
the
making them
salvation of their
toil and work.
souls, and bringing solace.
But
to
they're
the
totally
people in
working
times
hard
of
themselves, I
hardship,
promise.
so
Mhm.
that they can endure their earthly trials.
Keeping
and
the
enter
people
kingdom of
down,
heaven.
as always.
But what's all that got to do with Johanka?
Well, I noticed in her first sermon she primarily addressed the concerns of the common folk, and in the second, she criticized the nobility.
Uh-huh. And now she's gonna say bad things about the church in front of the church. Very bad idea.
Ah. So you think she might start talking about the church?
Yes, I'm afraid she might. I dread to think how that might end up. Henry, you must warn her against that. She must show humility before the Inquisitor, and the wisest course would be to admit to being wrong. She's rather stubborn, but perhaps she'll listen to you.
But the Inquisitor said no one's allowed to see her.
No one except the
Well,
Inquisitors. own
honestly, you know
men.
who she would probably listen
You'll
to?
just have to think
Matthias.
something up.
Not me. I'm still some
afraid
rando
Johanka's
from
fate is
town,
mainly
who's
in
helped her
your
a lot,
hands
by the
now.
way, but she doesn't
I'm
seem very
relying
grateful.
on you.
Good luck then.
She also tells me after I saved like everyone from Skalitz here and helped her multiple times, she's like, "You're a sinner. You should go for a walk." And here I am. I'm back from that walk, and she's in the shit. Who would have imagined? Yeah, see, that's the thing, right? Like, that's the problem with Johanka as well. She's like, when we tried to tell her about, hey, maybe like dial it back a bit, she basically refused and it was just like, no, I'm gonna keep doing it no matter what. And here she is as a result. Her headstrong nature is well, here's the here's the thing. The same thing story with the Inquisitor. It's literally like, look, I told her, hey, maybe dial it back, or you know, bad things might happen. She decided not to listen, and here she is. So, can you give your testimony in court, please?
Witnesses can be summoned for Johanka's trial. So I wanted to ask you if you give a testimony. Maybe some learned speech in her defense?
I'd be glad to do it.
Thank you.
Johanka deserves my help.
Yes.
Such testimonies could carry a lot of weight. You should try and get as many as you can.
That's the plan, yes. Do you have any more updates or insights? You don't. Okay.
Good luck then.
That is fine. Who else am I going for? Sir Sebastian. Alright. I can talk to him. Bailiff Hashak, he lives in town. Father Fabian. Guta. Yeah, I failed the quest for her and didn't manage to get the dice, so she's not going to be thrilled with me. Pavel is in town, and then talk to Johanka somehow. Okay. But apparently I'm not allowed to actually see Johanka, so therein lies the problem itself. So on this list, I got to about as far as Gupta. And yes, Gupta is not happy with the situation, so she will not be helping us. I'll still talk to her anyway just to get that dialogue again, but it's not stellar. So I ended up using the perk point for hitting speech level 20 on a trustworthy middleman, because final offer was the only other option, and I always negotiate reasonably, right? So I never there are some exceptions, but I've almost never had a trader lose patience with me, so it doesn't even really matter. And lowborn I cannot choose because I chose highborn, so that is that as far as the skills go. Sebastian, thank you for walking down the stairs and being conveniently available.
Some humble service to you.
Yes, me too. I need your testimony.
I need something from you, sir. I suppose you heard that Johanka was locked up by the Inquisitor and is facing charges of heresy.
I did, and it's most disturbing news.
Yeah, at least you
What
care
you
for
might
her
not
well
know
enough, right?
Is that he's agreed that I can defend her at the trial.
You? Do you even know what to say?
I'll think of something.
Well, I'm preparing for it. I'll think up something, don't worry. But I need you to testify at the court. In Johanka's defense, of course.
Naturally. You don't think I could just sit here and do nothing?
See, that's the only good
Besides,
part, right?
the
He
bishop has
actually
already
cares.
insisted that I appear before the court.
Oh,
Oh.
alright.
One moment. I apologize if I was a little
So, like,
hasty.
on this
This
occasion,
whole affair
he
has
and
left me
I,
anxious.
for once,
I
are
appreciate
actually on the
if you
same
want to
page,
defend her.
right? Like, we
However,
both want
I
to
don't
keep her
think it would
safe.
have any effect.
Oh.
No offense, but I don't think you'll be able to achieve anything in court. I'm afraid the Inquisitor will judge as he sees fit, whatever anyone says. But I have an idea how you could help.
Elaborate.
How's that?
Flee. With Johanka, of course.
That's really not a good idea.
No, I don't think that's a good idea. I'm sure Johanka will be acquitted by the court and everything will be alright. Running would just
I don't know about
confirm
that,
the
but-
Inquisitor's suspicions, and she'd always be looking over her shoulder.
Yeah.
I don't agree. As I said, I don't believe you can affect the outcome of the court.
That's fair,
If
too.
Johanka flees, yes, she'll have to lie low for a while. But in time, it will all blow over. You can take her anywhere, as long as it's far enough from here. A girl like that will always find her feet. She can easily hide out somewhere.
See,
where
up
she's
until this
not
point,
known.
it's like, okay, yeah,
Maybe
you believe in her.
There could even be a place.
And
for
then
her
this
along
sentence
my
happens, and you're
escape.
like, no.
Think about it.
No, screw off.
But whatever you decide, if Johanka comes to any harm, you'll have me to answer to. I'm very fond of her.
Yeah,
And her of
I know.
me. And
I don't know
want
about
anything
that,
to
but I
happen
know
to
you're
her.
fond of her.
Understand? But if everything ends well, I'll show you my gratitude, I assure you. Take care
Yeah.
now.
So like I said, in this specific case, right? We're on the same side. This one time in the entire game. We both want to keep her safe. One, you know. I don't like your other thoughts when you say that she could live on your estate. Unless you mean literally just to keep her safe, but I get the feeling that's not what you meant. Yeah, okay. So now I need to go and find that apprentice because he still hasn't woken up yet. I don't exactly want to just wait around because, well, I only have 3 days to do this. I'm sure he's up by now, right? I have to assume he's up by now. It's already... Okay, no, maybe not. It's only 7 in the morning. Buddy. Ow. Buddy, wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
Why you...
Wake up. Okay, so maybe they'll wake up later. Bailiff Hashek, Father Fabian. So, let me take a look. Everyone is mostly gathered back in town. Pavel is there. And I'm definitely not ready to talk to the Inquisitor about this, but let me go and get back into town. Hello. Let's go, Albarak. Pavel? Okay. Are you just hanging out?
I'll save you, Henry.
Yes, and hopefully he saves Johanka as well.
Goodman Pavel, you're still here. That's a relief. I was afraid I'd miss you.
Yes, still here, but not for long. I had some business to deal with, but now that's out of the way and I'm getting ready to leave. What was it you wanted?
I wonder if he would have left if you waited too long.
Arrested by the Inquisitor and is facing trial.
Indeed, word has reached me. Poor girl.
I'd like to ask you to speak to the court in Johanka's defense.
Of course, Henry. You have my word. And the
Nice.
word of a burgher of Colleen ought to mean something.
I hope
But
so.
to speak in defense of someone accused of heresy is no small matter. What do you want me to say?
The same thing you told me. That it was a sacred sign that you happened to be nearby when Johanka was speaking, and so on.
More
True.
character witnesses? Always
I'll
good.
tell the bishop that. You can rest assured.
Alright, thank you, sir.
Please wait here a few more days for the court to convene, then I'll send for you.
All right. For Johanka's sake, I'll wait. Take care.
Appreciate it. Pavel of Colleen's testimony. Okay, so let's get back into town. I think everyone is still waking up, so there's a chance that not everyone's going to be available yet. I'm pretty sure I killed some bandits on the way back, so I guess I could probably unload some stuff. Did I pick up some? I picked up a few items. Not much, though, unless my horse is more. Oh, yeah, my horse is more. Okay, so I definitely have some stuff I can sell. But then again, if these people aren't up yet, what are the chances that the shops are going to be open? Right? Realistically. Well, actually, people do seem to be standing around already. Well, that's not so bad. Let me go and get rejected by Gupta real quick. Oh, never mind. Wait. Who's that? Who did I run past? Oh, Fabian! Johanka's trial.
Father, the Inquisitor has had Johanka thrown in jail.
I know, son.
He's planning a hearing.
Oh, I mean, he was part of it.
Rightly so. It's about time this whole matter was dealt
Now,
with.
to be fair, she was preaching stuff that was not ordained by the church in front of his church, which is kind of funny. So it would make sense that he's not exactly on our side in this case, huh?
What do you think about it, then?
As I say, it's a good thing that the matter is being investigated. The things Johanka has been preaching are, to say the least, disturbing. Who knows
I disagree.
what extremes are
They
that
seem
she
morally
speaks of, and her
fine, but
words
okay.
Are only putting ideas in people's heads and leading them astray.
But again, of
Now,
course,
instead of going to
he is the
church,
head of a
as they
church, like
should,
a small
they
local
go to her
church.
in the false belief that they will find solace. It's creating a chasm between the people and the church and leading them away from the true teaching left to us by Christ. They're misguided and swamped in heretical ideas.
Uh-huh. Johanka is no heretic.
But Johanka is no heretic. She's a good, kind girl who's only trying to do the right thing.
But he's
I'll
going to
defend her.
disagree, yeah.
Suit yourself. But mind you don't get ensnared in her fallacies and leave it to the bishop to judge the matter.
Of course.
Yep. I cannot force the judge to make a decision. Okay. Now Gupta is over here, and she's ready to turn me down. I definitely saw a couple of things over here. Question mark? Oh no, that's a lockpicking situation. I can go in. Can I climb in, actually? No. Okay. So this is, of course, where Johanka is currently living. And of course, these are her wardens. I'm not allowed to actually talk to her until they give me the all clear. So...
Hey, clear off. No one's allowed to talk to Johanka.
Yeah,
Bishop
yeah.
Yaroslav's orders.
Understood. I don't think bribing is a good idea. I'm from the bishop. If only I could have done the speech option, but no, I'm wearing 7 to 7. I don't think that wins. I don't think you can win a 50-50. You have to beat it. So how do I boost that? I don't know. I'll be going for now.
I apologize. I didn't know that. I'll be going.
Go then. And don't come snooping around here again.
I definitely will. Don't you have the keys, though? What if I knock you both out? I guess that would be suspicious, wouldn't it? I'm like, if I knock them out, that would probably be considered to be suspicious. But how do I build up that heart thing? The heart crown thing? That's the one that's where it's like, oh, it's like situational, right? Maybe I can dress up like the other guard. No, but that would require me to knock him out and steal his armor while he's wearing it. And obviously, if he wakes up without his armor, he's going to be like, the hell happened? That's very suspicious, too. Okay. Well, that's a problem I'll try to figure out later. So who exactly is G and D on my map? Try to persuade Johanka. Sure. D is... Ah, the bailiff! I see. Okay. And then Gupta is across the street. So, bailiff, I presume you are in this room then? Hello? Good day? That's a random townswoman. The bailiff should be hanging out here, right? But he's not. So he's probably upstairs, not yet awake. Then, I would imagine. Right? Hello, random trader. Yep, there's the bailiff. He's eating breakfast. And I cannot annoy him yet. Okay, I'll annoy him later. Gupta, are you awake? Can I come and annoy you? Please be awake. Even though I know you're not going to help me. Well, the shop is open. Hey, Gupta.
Well, how did it go with that husband of mine?
Extremely poorly.
I tried all sorts of things. I did everything in my power. But nothing helped.
I'm sorry.
Henry. You were my last hope.
I know.
All I can do now is pray to the Virgin Mary for a miracle.
Yeah, maybe that'll come to pass. Right? The Virgin Mary is talking to... Well, I guess... They talked to Johanka. Johanka sent me and I failed, so... you know, who knows? Maybe.
I need your help.
He's at least trying. Right?
Sure
he said, oh...
Johanka was...
I promised my wife I won't, and then he didn't,
Who
so...
hasn't? The whole of Sasau is talking about it. And the Inquisitor was asking around about her.
I'd like to ask you to appear before the court and say something in Johanka's
Yeah, she's not going to do that.
I understand, but you'll have to forgive me.
Yeah.
I don't want to show my face there. Never mind speak for Johanka. I wouldn't want people to associate me with her. What with her being a heretic? See?
Yeah, see, now she thinks that she's a heretic.
Tongues.
Yeah.
I understand.
Because I failed.
It's a tricky business.
But it is what it is. I couldn't do it. I tried. And failed. Again, so... Rip. Alright, thanks anyway, Gupta. Just don't be there and then put a testimony about her being a heretic, please. And now, hopefully the bailiff is awake? He is! Wonderful. I guess I was at the wrong table as well. Anything happening around here?
Is there anything interesting going on here?
It's so peaceful, it worries me.
Well, there are some exceptions to that, actually. Johanka's trial.
Master Bailiff, Inquisitor Yaroslav is going to try Johanka.
I know. He was here asking questions, too.
Oh? What did he want to know?
Various things. Like how things are here, whether people are honest, whether we observe the fest days, and so forth. And then he asked about Johanka. About what she preaches, whether people come to listen to her and that. He's been talking to a lot of other people in Sasau, too. I even heard that Katra, the swordsmith's wife, invited him to dine with them.
That's interesting. Thanks for telling me.
Will you go and testify?
Was he just asking questions, or does he want you to testify before the court?
Yes, he did ask me to testify, and I'm none too happy about it.
I see. And what are you going to say about her?
It depends what I'm asked, but there's not much I can say. I don't know Johanka very well. She seems virtuous and self-sacrificing.
That's all you need to say.
She's never done anything wrong, and no one here ever had a cross word to say about her. Until recently. Maybe some gossip about her and Sir Sebastian. But I've heard similar talk about half the women folk here.
Fair. She's a virtuous girl. She's helped a lot of people here.
Johanka has helped a lot of people here, selflessly. Her heart is in the right place.
True. But then there's that preaching of hers.
True enough
folk
as
have
well.
been falling out. They're split according to whether they believe Johanka or not. I don't know quite what to think of it myself. But I don't want to jump to conclusions. I'll wait and see what
you're the middle of the
learned
fence
bishop
type of
has
guy.
to say.
Will you speak on her behalf? Bribing? Bribing sounds bad. Yes?
Thank you for speaking openly, Master Bailiff.
Take care now.
Alright, see ya. Can I still bribe him later?
God save.
No. Okay, so that was like a one-time deal. I feel like throwing money around is going to be bad for her. As a lawyer, throwing money around would look really bad. Right? Like, if that ever came up, my standing and validity would be called into suspect. And if the lawyer cannot be trusted, then obviously the entire trial is done, basically. So I've unloaded almost all the gear I could in Sasau at the moment. I still have some stuff on the horse, which unfortunately not everyone has enough gold for. And I was thinking to myself, how come I don't remember the swordsmith's wife? Well, the reason is because every time I come to this area, I walk straight up to Fink and just buy from him. I never actually set foot into this building. I might have done it once or twice in the past, but almost never do I do it nowadays. So that's why I've been ignoring her. Hello. Will you sell stuff for me first? You have some money. Actually, no, never mind. So your inventory is a little different from Fink itself, I think. Johanka's trial.
I'm here about Johanka.
You're that fella of hers, are you?
Oh, that's
What
a
do you
voice I don't like.
No. I'm just a friend of hers. Matthias is her fella.
Huh. God knows how many she has.
I heard you invited Bishop Yaroslav to come and dine with you?
Yes, so what? Bishop Yaroslav is an esteemed visitor to Sasau, and it's only fitting he should be suitably hosted by devout burghers.
What did you talk about?
And what did you talk about?
What we discussed with the Monsignor is none of your business.
Okay, fair enough. What do you have against Johanka?
What have you got against Johanka?
Nothing. The question is, what has she got against us?
She's one of the rich
Tell me
people.
that.
What?
So she got offended when she was talking.
Turns up here
Yeah,
and
when she was
tries to
preaching
tell us
against
how
the
to
rich.
Live our lives.
Yep.
Says the Virgin Mary whispers to her in the night. Yeah, I'm sure. To a simple village wench.
Yeah, okay, I see.
I'd like to know who's really putting those ideas in her head. She's
You're one
just
of
getting
those
people all
people.
worked up. Men, especially. Coming around here with
Keep
her
the status quo,
nonsense.
as it were, with you
Sasau
types, huh?
is a decent, orderly place. I'll have you know. We don't want any trouble here. All this talk
Doesn't
about
want anything to rock the
hellfire
boat,
and the
I
end
see.
of the world. God have mercy. No one is interested in what she has to say. All they want is some spectacle. She ought to have thought twice before she started. Not that she wasn't warned.
To be fair, she was warned by the bishop.
What do you mean, warned?
As I said, she was told.
What are you implying? Yeah, I think that's the one I'm going to go with. Normally, I would go for explain yourself, especially with such a win. But I don't like this lady very much.
Damn it, woman, tell me what you meant by that.
I didn't mean anything by it.
Out with it!
If you must know, some of the fellas went to have it out with her and tell her to stop.
Oh, so you're not talking about the
speeches
bishop.
here, but would she listen? No. The devil possessed her to bring harm to us.
So it was you who sent those men?
All I wanted was to protect the
Yes,
Sasau
she paid
folk
off the peasants.
against her poisonous tongue. And
So this is
don't
again
you
relevant
just
to real
guess.
life. She paid off the
Monsignor
poor
asked me to testify
to
in
fight
court.
against
And
the ideas
I'll
from
tell everything
the
I know
poor
there.
And I'll do
that would
likewise.
potentially raise them against the rich.
Farewell.
Got it.
Go.
Uh-huh.
God bless.
Don't like you very much. What's your opinion
Jesus
of me right
Christ
now? Very high.
May the Lord
Still 69. Hilarious. Okay, cool. Let's time to get out of here. Okay, so this is basically as far as I got. As far as the recruitment slash finding witnesses stuff goes. I need to figure out how to actually talk to Johanka. Optional. Try to persuade Johanka. I would like to, but these people won't let me in unless I'm one of the bishop's people, right? So we're just riding back into the church area, and I never actually talked to you, sir. Hello. I kind of want your armor. About Inquisitor Yaroslav.
Can you tell me anything about Inquisitor
rep game.
Yaroslav?
Only as a myth, a dark fable, a horror tale
Okay.
told across the flickering embers of a midnight fire, wherever hardened warriors and minstrels.
Okay, you are a very well-learned
drink and
individual.
compete in tales of blood-chilling terror.
One hell of a
Now,
storyteller.
Butler,
Okay, that was pretty
care
good.
now.
One hell of a storyteller. Very elaborate words. Educated man. Okay, where is that assistant? I want to talk to the assistant. Hello. I was told to talk to you about some stuff.
Good God, you look terrible.
Sorry.
Did someone attack you?
No. What's going on in the world?
The bishop told me this business with Johanka has
It said what's going on?
context,
It's the
and that
world,
You
but
tell me
okay.
about it.
Oh, very well. If the bishop says so. Look, it's like this. The world as a whole is not in a good state.
Yeah,
For
that's never in a
decades,
good state.
People have been perishing from a terrible sickness, the Black Death.
Mm.
There's an anti-pope in Avignon in France.
Is the Black Death
who
happening in this
defies
time
the
frame? I never thought
authority
about
of the
that.
throne
Huh.
of Saint Peter.
But
People
apparently
are
we're not
fighting.
worried about it here.
Many of the nobles, instead of caring for peace on earth, are warring one against another. The authority of many monarchs, and even the emperor, is unfortunately too weak to put things to rights. Many scholars have even started to question established truths, and various contentious teachings have appeared, such as those of the Englishman Wycliffe.
Wycliffe? Black Death?
The Black Death?
The plague, my child.
Yep.
A dreadful disease that claimed countless lives. By the grace of God, these parts were not much afflicted, but it took a terrible toll in the surrounding countries.
I believe
First,
it. Yep, we
the
know.
Italian ports were stricken, Venice and Genoa, and then nearly the whole of Christendom. Some regard it as God's punishment for our sins, or even a sign of the approaching parousia.
Paru what now?
Paro what?
The parousia, the second coming of Christ. The day when he returns to this world will mark the end of the ages. The dead will rise, and all people will face final judgment for their sins.
Oh. Do you think that's going to happen?
Most assuredly. But God alone knows when that will be.
Oh. I hope it won't be too soon.
Right. The anti-pope?
The anti-pope?
Unfortunately, that's a very serious and unpleasant topic. In short, alongside the legitimate Pope, the Bishop of Rome, and successor to Saint Peter, another was elected and is usurping the highest glory of being Christ's representative here on earth. This is a most lamentable schism for the whole Church, and the Avignon usurper must be compelled to give up his unlawfully acquired office, so the Church and the whole of Christendom may again be unified.
So, there are two popes?
Currently.
Not quite. There is only one, but there are those who refuse to recognize him. The election wasn't correct and valid, and I apologize.
Yeah, that's
Wasn't
going into
wise
some
to
stuff
speak
that
to
a
you of this.
random
It will
peasant
only
is going to.
confuse you
Yeah.
all the more. Better forget it. We won't talk about it anymore.
The emperor?
You mentioned the emperor.
God wants unity, a universal order of the world. The Pope, Christ's deputy, and the Emperor, the supreme earthly ruler, crowned by the Pope himself, were instituted in order to preside over that unity. Unfortunately, the gleam of the imperial crown has become somewhat dulled, and his authority is no longer as absolute as it once was. What's worse, his election has become a political game involving many princes, and for a long time the emperor himself has paid less attention to the affairs of the Christian world and more to
Well,
his
I mean,
own
Wenceslas in
concern.
particular, especially in the opening scene or the opening to the game, like the title animation, did seem a little bit more frivolous than you'd hope for as someone who's quote unquote leading a country. But scholars,
And what about these scholars?
That's complicated.
I'm sure it is.
Some reject the authority of the Pope or the Church. Others dispute over the legitimacy of government or the nature of the world. Others rebel against teachings. All of them seek all sorts of arguments and explanations to support their claims and argue with others. All this contributes to uncertainty. One doubt leads to another, and soon heretical ideas take hold. But
Yeah, literally the
don't
same
concern
response as
yourself.
me, Henry.
These are weighty matters for others who are learned in such things.
Of course.
Yep, definitely not me. Peace on Earth.
Peace on Earth.
Yes. Sadly, many countries are torn apart by strife and destroyed by war. In the lands of the English, the French, the Italians, in the Holy Roman Empire, Christians are raising their weapons against other Christians. Love for our neighbor has given way to the pursuit of mammon and high office. They plot against each other to gain advantage. You've seen it yourself, right here in Bohemia, and even in Sasau.
Yes.
And in Skalitz, yep.
And in Skalitz.
Indeed, my son. Regrettably.
What does it all mean?
But what does all this mean? What has it got to do with Johanka?
As I say, the order of the world
There's
is
a lot
shaken.
going on,
Division
and this is
spreading,
one of those
and
things.
confusion and iniquity thrive.
It all adds
It's
up together.
The handiwork
Yeah.
of Lucifer.
Okay.
Who wants to lay waste to God's creation. Many have succumbed to his false truths and spread them to others. That's why we must be alert to his snares, especially in these times. Be wary of false prophets.
So
and
they're
stick
calling
to the
her
path
a
of the
false
true
prophet,
faith
basically.
and personal virtue.
There's a charlatan here. Definitely should not say that, because that implies Johanka.
And Johanka?
Just so. I fear she too may have been ensnared by Lucifer's deceptions, and the false belief that she's been visited by the Blessed Virgin. These machinations of the devil must be faced and stamped out before they take root and cause more evil. But we must not despair. Even those who have strayed from the right path may be redeemed, and that's why Johanka's case is important. Although it may not be immediately
Yeah, they
apparent.
think it could be like a catalyst for something worse, right? Okay, thank you.
Thanks. I won't bother you anymore.
Take care.
Well, that was fascinating. Medieval crises. Yeah, no kidding. Okay, let's, we still need to somehow talk to Johanka. How do that? Also, where the heck did the actual guy go? Hello. I will not be starting the trial. I will not be doing any of that. You know what? All in all, I guess it doesn't hurt to try and bribe the guard to let me talk to her, right? Bribing a key witness would probably look bad, but wanting to talk to my friend on paper should be okay.
I want to talk about your...
Alright.
Why the heck is my crown heart skill so much higher than earlier? I was matching it at 7 when I first came through, and now I'm at like 20 again. I have no idea, but sure, I'll take it. I didn't do anything different.
In that case, you surely know that everyone who comes from the bishop has to show a document to prove it.
Oh.
Good. Your diligence is commendable. I don't have the document on me at present, though. I left it at the monastery.
Sorry, sir. We'll have to go and get it. I can't let you in otherwise. I wouldn't want to anger the Monsignor.
Of course.
Fair enough. Okay, let me go and get the document.
Read, can you?
A little, sir, yes. That's why they put me here.
Okay, alright. Let me go and find
the
it.
Right man for the job. Very well. I'll be back soon with that paper.
I'll see you later.
Okay. Alright, so I got a clue. So we're riding up back into the monastery area, and I have been tasked to find some papers. I don't think it's showing up on my quest list. Oh no, here it is. He informed me that members of the Inquisitor's retinue will carry a document to prove that it can visit her. If I can manage to get my hands on that piece of paper, I might be able to trick the sentry. So basically, I have to either... I guess I have to steal one if it says they carry it, right? Pretty harsh. Members of the retinue carry a document. Okay. So could I steal from the vicar himself? I think he'd be quite upset with me if I did that, though. Now, how out in the open is this right now? Extremely. Lots of people can see me, so this is probably not the best plan. The Overseer's Hand. Okay. I get the feeling, though, if I can just be patient... That guy's facing the other way now. And that guy's not looking over here. If I just crouch when this guy is done walking by, I might be able to get away with this. Because as far as I can tell, this guy doesn't do anything other than stand still. Come on. I got time. So I need a document. That's a document right there. Does he have money I can take as well? He does. I'll take both. Thank you. Probably shouldn't have whistled immediately after stealing it from him, but I think I'm good. Alright, let's go and talk to Johanka. Alright guys, I'm back and I'm totally part of the retinue. Okay? Can I talk to you first about this? I'm allowed to get here.
Here's a document. See?
I'm allowed in here now.
Show me that?
Yep, here you go.
That's fine. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Okay, let's talk, Johanka.
Johanka, are you alright?
Yes, Henry. I'm fine. I'm glad to see you.
I spoke to the Inquisitor. He wants to put you on trial.
I know.
I'm sure she knows, yeah.
It's all in God's hands now.
No, it's not. I mean, it is, of course. But the bishop...
But you should probably still watch what you say, yes?
You want to defend me? Thank you. Henry, that's very kind of you. But you needn't bother. Our Lady won't let anything bad happen to me. I am her instrument.
She's absolutely just gonna...
in her hands.
Just let it all go,
Everything that's happening is her sacred will.
But I won't stand by with my arms folded. You need someone to testify for you. As I said...
She's going for a Mary take the wheel type of thing.
If you insist. Maybe it's the will of the Virgin that you came to me. So be it then.
She sounds so dispassionate and unattached. I don't know. I did the pilgrimage.
I went to Ujits, like you asked.
That's good, Henry. I hope you purged yourself of your sins.
I did the pilgrimage of penance, like you said. And in the church, I begged the Virgin Mary for forgiveness.
And she will bless you, Henry.
I also donated like 1600. Was it 1600 or 1200? I don't remember.
And don't stray into
not a small amount.
Again.
I won't. I made a donation to the church too.
Yep.
And the parish priest there, Father Godwin, he was asking about you.
Was he? Or
that
what
he
did
was.
You tell him?
Oh, just about everything that's going on and the things you were saying. He was quite moved by it, to tell the truth.
Yeah, he said he'd come and
he
see
even
you
gave
too.
Me some writings.
You see? Maybe Our Lady is giving you a sign too.
Maybe. What did the bishop talk to you about?
What did Bishop Yaroslav ask you about?
All sorts of things. Like how the Virgin Mary visits me, what she shows me, and about preaching to the people. Actually, he was really quite pleasant.
Yeah, he sounds
asked
reasonable.
Me about Skalitz, whether I go to church, and a lot of other things. And in the end, he told me I mustn't speak in public again about the visitations and that.
Yeah, but then of course you chose not to.
Obey an order like that. The Blessed Virgin is testing me, and I have to do what she asks, no matter who or what stands in the way.
I'd say he wasn't too happy about that.
No. He came there with his men, dispersed the people, and had me arrested and locked up here.
So about the trial, I'm not going to tell her we're going to flee, and I think she would disagree anyway. I think she would argue against it.
About that trial?
Yes, the trial.
You must not provoke the bishop.
I'll get some people who will testify for you in court. But Brother Nicodemus is worried you'll say things that will make the Inquisitor angry. Please don't do that. You have to talk to him respectfully Answer his questions with humility and not say anything to annoy him. And don't say anything against the church or priests. Please.
I'll say only what the Blessed Virgin wants me to say.
Okay, so she's actively facing against me. Please listen to me.
Johanka, please.
Oh, rep loss.
You
Oh,
mustn't
boy.
say anything against him or the church. Be contrite. Maybe even admit you might have been wrong about some things. I don't think the Inquisitor is so bad.
Yeah, he seems like a decent guy.
If you submit to him, he'll drop the charges.
You too now. You're speaking exactly the same as his assistant. The two of
Am
you
I?
joined forces against me, did you?
No.
Nothing to do with him. I didn't even
No,
know
I
he was
didn't.
here.
Yeah, also true.
Believe me, I'm really trying to help you.
You don't believe me anymore, do you?
They spelled any more wrong. I believe you, but this is for your own good. I still have to gas her up.
I do, Johanka, I believe you. But in court, you must speak reasonably,
Yeah.
prudently. A lot
Court is a
depends on
whole
it.
different matter.
Maybe even your life.
I appreciate your concern for me, Henry, really, I do. But you must understand. I can't deny that the Virgin Mary visits me, or what she wants to tell us. Not now. After everything that's happened, I can't. Otherwise,
Okay.
she won't heal Matthias.
So this is
You
all
have
for
to consider
Matthias in the
yourself and
end.
what's good
Got
for
it.
you. Surely you don't want to be
Yeah,
convicted of
maybe you
heresy.
shouldn't die.
That won't
Maybe
do
you
anyone
shouldn't
any
be
good.
like,
Neither
you know,
you
arrested
nor
and
Matthias.
tried,
I've
and then he
already
gets
told
healed,
you.
and you are just, you know, a
Everything
corpse.
is in the hands of the Blessed Virgin. I will accept with humility the fate she grants me.
I guess for her, she doesn't
This is gonna be a
mind.
right mess.
Either way, as long as Matthias gets better, huh? Okay. Well, that didn't go super well. Let's go back to Brother Nicodemus. Nicodemus! Nicodemus! She won't listen to me! She won't listen to reason! We must speak, you and I.
Look out.
Where are you? Hey. So she's a bit nuts.
I spoke to Johanka.
And did you manage to convince her?
Nope.
Afraid not. She's stubborn. She says she answers only to the Blessed Virgin.
Oh dear, Henry. That's not good at all.
I quite
What about
agree.
her family? Doesn't she have a relative she might listen to?
No. None of them survived the raid on Skalitz.
She has no one at all left in the world? Poor child.
Well, there is Matthias. She kept saying in like the previous interactions with her that, oh yeah, Matthias is getting better. He's you know, waking up, we're talking, he's eating soup or whatever. And every time I go and see him, he's like, and he ignores me. And he's just laying in the bed that I like to use. So maybe now he'll be willing to talk to me, you know, when she's about to freaking die. We shall see. Oh look, you're awake this time. You're actually willing to talk. Thank goodness for that. Matthias? The man who's been ignoring me every time I come through, but apparently has full conversations with Johanka.
Matthias? You're better.
I am, in fact, spiting this guy because he
Is
has
it
taken
you?
the bed that I like
Yes,
to use
it's
for
me.
free.
Who else would it be?
He's costing me 2 gold
Glad
per
you're
night.
here, Henry. I feel a bit better now. I'd even like to eat something. I must tell Johanka. She'll be glad.
Yeah, about Johanka. I think I should tell him the truth and just get right on with it. Saying she's not here right now, he won't know what's going on. That's not a good idea. It's very vague.
Unfortunately, that won't be possible.
Oh? Why's that?
How to begin? Look, things got a bit complicated here. The main thing is, Johanka is in jail, awaiting trial.
True.
What? What happened?
Well, she is now becoming a saint, apparently. The Virgin Mary visits her. Johanka claims the Virgin Mary visits her.
Well, she claims she's being visited by the Virgin Mary and seeing visions. And she was preaching to people about it.
Yeah, that's the dangerous
But this
part.
Inquisitor heard about it and came to investigate. He locked her up. And he's going to try her for heresy.
What? The Virgin Mary? Visiting Johanka?
Yes. So she says. Trouble is, Johanka is very obstinate.
Agreed, yes.
She's likely to say things in court that will just make it worse for her.
Also true.
Listen, Matthias, I need you to go with me and talk to her.
That will work,
Maybe
because
together
you are
we can
literally
convince
her
her
whole
to
reason
see
for
sense.
being right now.
I wish I could.
You are literally her motivation.
I'm still too weak to even get out of bed. I'm sorry, Henry.
Okay? I can't carry
Just can't do it.
I can't carry it for you, but I
Tell her
can carry
I'm
you.
feeling better, and I agree with everything you tell her. Give her this dice. She'll understand.
The dice
It'll
you told
almost be
her
like I
that
was
she
there
told
with
Teresa
you.
to steal. Matthias's lucky dice. Dice.
It's complicated.
Yep.
Back in Skalitz, Johanka wanted me to take her dancing.
That is
but
true.
She was too shy to ask. She thought if she took my dice and then brought it back to me, I'd be grateful and ask her to dance. Crazy, I know. But that's girls for you.
Maybe I
But
should ask
anyway.
Teresa about that sometime.
And
Wait a
then
minute.
she
Teresa
told me
did tell me about
Girls,
this.
I know what you mean.
Henry, please, look out for her.
Yeah, because when we
And make
replayed,
sure nothing happens to her.
or not
I'll do my
replayed,
best.
when we played through Teresa's
care.
Teresa's adventure, that was literally just her telling me what was going on, right? Like what she lived through, wasn't it?
Good God.
Sorry. How are you doing?
How are things going here?
Quite well. Johanka and
Sounds
I have
Actually-
a roof over my head. It's really quite...
I'm glad to hear it.
No, it's sweet of you. Goodbye.
I just skipped all her dialogue.
I'll do.
Take care.
Okay, so I literally replayed. I literally replayed all this just so I could not miss that conversation with Adela. So where the heck is she? You cost me quite some time, ma'am. Or rather, I guess it's my fault for skipping through her dialogue like an idiot. But where did she go? Where is she even? Is she hanging out in here, taking a nap? No. Maybe in the next area? She's getting food or something? Yes, she is. Hey,
God's
Adela.
blessings.
Yes, and with you. How are you doing?
How are things going here?
Quite well. It's a lot of work. But I have a feeling I'm doing something useful.
Yep, you're
Johanka
being
and Brother
productive.
Nicodemus showed me what to do, and I already know a thing or two.
Sounds good.
I have a roof over my head, enough to eat, and they even pay me a bit.
Honestly,
It's
that's not
really quite
bad.
fine.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Glad to hear it. And you've had no trouble.
And you're not
finding-
officially a nun or a sister.
Everyone has been kind.
So realistically,
It's
you
sweet of
could
you to care,
actually
Henry. God be
live a proper life. So that's good. Okay, well, that was sweet. Was it worth the additional time I spent having to replay everything off screen? No, but still, I hate missing dialogue, so... Okay, so now I need to get back to Johanka. Which realistically isn't too far away, but I will see you there. Alright, I have returned. I'm allowed to talk to Johanka in front of the guards, even though this conversation really shouldn't be held in front of the guards. So, about the trial.
About that trial?
Yes, the trial.
I spoke to Matthias.
I spoke to Matthias.
What? But he's lying in a fever, isn't he?
What do you mean?
No,
You told
he's
me
much
you were
better.
talking to him before.
He asked about you. He wanted to come here, but he's not strong enough yet.
Oh, that's wonderful. You see? Our Lady helped him. And now, I have to do my part.
But doesn't it mean that you've already done your part?
Yeah,
Well,
using your own argument against
I-
you. If this was all for Matthias and Matthias is
What would be
healed,
the
your
point
part
of
is
it
done.
all if the Inquisitor were to have you imprisoned now?
Yep.
Or even worse.
You'd be separated
it's
forever.
a message. A final test. I mustn't fail now, after everything.
But you already passed the Virgin Mary's message on. Many people heard it, and many of them have amended their ways. You
Very
certainly
true,
haven't failed.
except for that one guy I
Matthias
failed.
gave me this for you, and he asked me to tell you to look out for yourself.
Thank you, Henry. Go now. I need to rest.
You're just dismissing me. Okay, sure. Can I still annoy you? Okay, I can annoy her, but I'm not going to tell her to flee. Alright, so what do we have left to do? Once you're prepared for the trial, tell the Inquisitor. I guess that's it. I'm going to double back to Matthias and Nicodemus one more time, just to see if they have any more insight, or if they have any more suggestions. And then I guess I'm going to have to call the trial. I think we're still on day 1, but I guess this is more of a, hey, you know, you could just do this while you're questing type of deal. Which I'm definitely not doing. I am 100% laser focused on doing all the side quests I can find that I want to do. I need to specify that. There are some that I'm, specifically ignoring. Before moving on to the next area. So I need to remember, I'm now planning ahead for potentially after the trial. After the trial, I think the only side quests I have on my, that I have to actually do, that I want to do as well, because the rest of these is like repeatables, thief stuff that I don't feel like doing anymore, random hunting stuff I don't care for. Yeah, so the only thing left is Masquerade. And I was informed that I can find... I already have Raven Feathers. I can find wolf fangs from hunters. You also need to hunt down a dog at night and skin it. Don't know how that's going to go. I guess I can run around in the woods at night and hope that I come across like a cumin party or something. I don't really know. But yeah, so if I find a hunter, I can potentially buy myself wolf fangs. Is there a hunter in this region? There doesn't look like there's a hunter. I know there's a hunter back in Ratai. There's this guy back in Ratai. But that's it. Because I've gotten rid of the hunter in Tomberg. And I'm too lazy to be the hunter myself. Also, there are no wolves in this game, so there's no one I can even talk to about this. There's definitely no hunter in Yuzhitz. So quite literally, my only option is to ride back to Ratai. I think. Which is fine, because my buddies are up here. So I have to go... Okay, well maybe I can travel through these woods at night. Hope to come across a dog and skin it. Also, there's a side quest here, apparently, that I can pick up in Ratai. Okay, I need to double back to Ratai anyway. So, that's good, I guess. At least I have a path ahead of me. That seems to work. So, I have once again returned. I've been running back and forth a lot. My entire time has been spent in the town. And, yeah. Nicodemus, do you have any more insight? I went to see Johanka.
I spoke again to Johanka and gave her Matthias's message.
That's nice. But will she speak repentfully and cautiously to the Inquisitor?
I
guess we won't find... Yeah, I guess we'll find out at the trial.
I don't know what else I can do.
I have a bad feeling about the whole thing.
Don't say that.
I think we've done all we can.
Okay.
All that's left now is to hope and pray.
So that's confirmation that there's nothing else to do, I guess. Okay, that's fine. I will tell Matthias I pass along the message. Or not, he's just ignoring me again. This man really hates me. This man really hates me. Alright. I guess it's the moment of truth. Inquisitor. I'm ready to call the trial. Let's do it. Start the trial!
I'm ready, Monsignor.
But here's hoping for the best.
I have also completed my investigation.
Convenient.
We may commence then with the proceedings?
I'm ready.
Yes.
Good. I will send for everyone who is to bear witness and have Johanka brought before the court. We'll commence first thing tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Yes,
Can I wait with you, or...?
These are solemn proceedings that demand a certain decorum. I won't tolerate any clanking
Oh,
or
shoot.
otherwise inappropriate attire. You will wear this robe.
Of course. Thank you, Monsignor.
Okay, at least you provided me with the
Rest
outfit.
now, and we'll meet in the morning.
God be with you.
Once you've prepared for the trial, tell the Inquisitor. Okay, are you going to auto-equip the robe on me, or am I just... I guess I'm going to be wearing it automatically. Okay, I just look like a peasant. Could have given me a nicer looking outfit, but alright. I could have found myself a nicer looking outfit, but I guess we don't want to be too ostentatious. Except this guy's very, very ostentatious. Alright. Time for the trial and for the lawyer Henry. Hey, Johanka. I was kind of expecting more witnesses in this. Try to defend Johanka before the court. Noted. Actually a lawyer.
I, Bishop Yaroslav of Benishov, by the grace of God, Papal Inquisitor,
have come here to Sasau in response to reports of Marian visitations and the preaching activities of one Johanka, a commoner. And I have found, indeed, that by her arbitrary words, she's been leading good people
Okay,
astray,
good.
encouraging their rebellion.
Oh wait, no, that's not good.
Furthermore,
That's not good. Never
Johanka
mind.
has attempted to usurp the glory that belongs alone to Holy Mother Church, and to appoint.
I thought she
herself
said,
as
oh yeah,
the
I thought he was
intermediary
saying that she was doing good
of the grace of
deeds. I saw
Almighty
good
God.
people, and I was like,
This
oh yeah, that's
does
good.
not behove any
No,
lay person,
that's not good.
and certainly not a woman. It is therefore necessary to remedy her transgressions, and to investigate the extent and the basis of her misguidance. Or, as the case may be, heresy.
The guy on the right looks like he's giving him a dirty look, and the guy on the left
Henry
looks
of
like he's
Skalitz has
not all
elected
there.
to appear here in Johanka's defense, and his wish has been allowed.
Yep, thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Anyone who elects to speak here does so before God, and shall be bound by a most sacred oath, to speak only the truth. I will first hear the testimony of Father Fabian, who sent me word of this
Okay, so
matter,
he's the guy who reported
and who should
this.
best know what deeds are done in his parish. Father Fabian, will you tell us what Johanka has been proclaiming?
Johanka claims that she has received visitations from Our Lady, the Holy Mother of God, who speaks to her in the night. It is an outrageous claim that I hold to be entirely untrue.
Of course.
Did Johanka come forward to ask your advice regarding these alleged apparitions?
Probably
She did
not. Yeah, I didn't think so.
Instead, she took it upon herself to spread her supposed wisdom to the people.
And prior to this, did Johanka attend church? Did you see her at your sermons, Father?
I did not, Monsignor.
Is that true or
What's
false?
more, the parish priest of Skalitz is staying at my presbytery just now. Johanka knows him well enough, but she didn't come to see even him. I believe Johanka is deliberately avoiding the church. Instead, she meets her followers secretly in the woods and preaches to them. Either
I thought she
made
did go to
everything
church,
up,
though.
or the devil himself is whispering in her ear.
Alright, I'm gonna have to step in, or she's gonna say something. Johanka's apparitions are real. I am the super duper speaker.
If I may, Monsignor, the Virgin Mary really does speak to Johanka.
This is where all
Is
my
that
speech
so?
comes in. I have speech
Now
20.
what you found this claim?
It couldn't be the devil. Johanka lives at the monastery,
Awesome.
doesn't she? Close to the cave of St. Procopius.
True.
St. Procopius, who overpowered the devil and cast him down, did he not? The evil
True.
one would hardly dare return to the dominion of the saints to whisper in Johanka's ear.
Sure.
Surely that's obvious.
It's true, Henry, that evil spirits, or even Lucifer himself, would have little power in the vicinity of the remains of St. Procopius.
But the fact that she lives at the monastery doesn't mean that she is not misguided. What's more, she is an interloper there herself, who would not even be tolerated if it weren't for Brother Nicodemus.
Yes, Father, I am aware of the impropriety of her presence in the monastery grounds.
Okay, he's on my side on this
But
one.
in this, I must concur with Henry.
Call Pavel of Kolin. I need my
Monsignor,
witnesses.
Would you please hear the testimony of the respected burgher Pavel of Kolin? He will testify that Johanka isn't making anything up.
Well, I'm very curious what this Pavel will tell us. Call Pavel of Kolin.
This is kind of cool, actually. I'm quite liking this.
I'm a little surprised to find a counselor of Kolin here, especially you, who makes no secret of your
Oh, true,
animosity
yes. Well,
towards
he has a
Sasau
history, so they know
Monastery.
he's exactly who he says he is.
Although I have only criticized the monastery in secular matters of property, which concerned a dispute with the town of Colleen, and therefore my duties as a councillor.
Pavel, please tell us about your recent experience.
I'm all ears, Goodman.
Monsignor, some years ago I hid some money in Sasau woods. When I found myself here again recently and heard Johanka's words, I remembered that matter. Johanka made me aware of my inordinate love of wealth, and I resolved to donate the money in question for the common good of Sasau. For this I needed an honest intermediary who would locate the money. In this too, Johanka helped me by putting me in touch with Henry here.
Indeed. And
By
then
the
I
grace of God,
even
he
gave the
found
money to the
long-lost
monastery, yeah.
treasure and donated it for the good of Sasau.
Even though you didn't
The
like it
whole
at
matter
first.
I regard as the intervention of the Holy Spirit.
An interesting tale, Goodman Pavel.
Not only that, it's also evidence of divine providence, and that Johanka isn't making anything up. She wasn't possessed by an evil spirit. On the contrary, Our Lady really did speak to her.
I must concur with that, Monsignor, because
Wait,
I
what?
was subsequently also visited in a dream by the Virgin Mary.
What?
Yeah, literally, wait, what? Elaborate.
She appeared in a blue cloak and waved to me.
You never told us this. That's new information. What the heck?
That what you say is true, Pavel?
I swear by Almighty God, Monsignor.
Remarkable. Truly remarkable.
Well, that's definitely
Very well,
putting him over.
Goodman.
That's good.
Thank you for your testimony. You may stand down.
Well, that's helpful. That's new
Even if
information.
it were true, why
He's still
would Our
here.
Lady choose a simple village girl like Johanka?
Cite Matthew of Janau.
Monsignor, with your permission...
Oh,
I'd
that's
like
from
to
the
draw
book
attention
that
to the work of the great scholar,
that my buddy back in
Matthew of
Ushitz gave
Janov.
me.
He exalted women like Johanka.
That's helpful.
He
Okay,
said,
so there's a good
"God
reason for me to
created
get
what
to
is
do what I
weak
did.
in order to bring shame on what is strong. That's why God turns to women who love Christ and blesses them with such visions, so that they can point out and rectify.
I actually
the
didn't know
vanities of
who
men.
like that
It
was,
can't be
and then I
helped
saw the other
if
option was
learned
say
masters of
nothing.
universities
And obviously
follow
saying
such
nothing is
traps.
probably the worst possible choice, so.
What you say is remarkable. Matthew's work, which you mentioned, does speak to Johanka's benefit, but I wouldn't have expected that someone of your station has even heard of the Master of Yanov. How did you come by his work?
Well, Johanka pressed me to go.
Oh,
on a
this is all
pilgrimage of
going to be like
repentance. I
divine
went to
providence,
Ushitz,
right? Like,
where there's
she
a
told me to
Roman
do this
church.
because I did that. I
There,
found out about
parish
this,
priest
and now I'm
gave me a
reciting it
copy
to
of the
you.
text.
And I would never have known if not for
Surprising
this. Yeah, okay. I see, I
Especially
see.
that you are at all capable of reading such a work and understanding it. You're quite a fountain of unexpected skills, Henry.
Oh, thank you.
Monsignor.
Let's proceed then. Is there anything else you want to add, Henry?
Yes, I will call Brother Nicodemus.
Yes, please call Brother Nicodemus. He has something to say about it. He's a man of learning and knows more about these things than I do.
Certainly. I also wish to hear his testimony. Call him.
Now, are these people literally standing outside of the church, or does someone have to
you were
go out
insisting
and
that
find
the
them to bring them
infirmary
here?
needed Extra
Huh.
pairs of hands. It was only at your request that Johanka, against all accepted custom, was allowed inside the monastery walls. I've already spoken to Abbot Peter about her, but please tell me how Johanka behaved.
Monsignor, I must stand behind Johanka. The girl is a treasure. Selfless, charitable, and good-hearted. She helped more
Well, I mean, yeah,
people
she's been
than
helping
anyone
people.
else. I have never seen her do anything that would contradict
But
the
she is
behavior of a
very,
good
very
Christian.
headstrong and doesn't watch or mind her
She never
words.
discussed questions of faith with me. She was always focused only on her work, which she carried out impeccably.
And afterwards, when she began making claims of Marian apparitions?
Yes. Yes. That's quite an extraordinary thing. The things she preached couldn't have come from any
Yeah.
of the brothers.
Yeah, so that's
or
his
from
analysis.
books, because she can't
Helpful.
read. Therefore, I believe the Blessed Virgin really spoke to her.
Nonsense. She made the whole thing up. Or someone did prompt her. You're very keen to defend her, brother. It makes me wonder whether she didn't get her wisdom from you.
I don't like this
I
Fabian
always
guy.
said she
He's
got
very
none of it
driven.
from
He's
me.
very
I would
driven to get
never
her
lie before
convicted.
Almighty God. But it seems to me it's the inadequate education of the good parish
Ha.
priest here that's behind his
Ha! Turn it on him.
litany.
You should become the
What?
new priest.
Am I to be criticized by someone who's more a gardener than a scholar?
Father Fabian,
Who are you to insult
let
him?
Nicodemus speak. And you, Nicodemus, stick to the point, if you please.
Also true.
Certainly, Monsignor. Please allow this humble gardener to put the good priest
Oh, he's salty
right,
about that one,
because
yeah.
he evidently knows nothing of the fact that other women before Johanka had similar experiences. Blessed Hildegard of Bingen also had similar visions. And what about St. Bridget?
Yep,
or
saints.
Elizabeth of Schurnau?
Yep.
Or Catherine of Siena? Like them, Johanka here only humbly spreads the message of Our Lady.
True.
She does not present herself as an intermediary of divine mercy.
She also, she also never blessed anyone when they
Please
came
do
to
not
ask for
condemn
blessings.
Johanka,
So that's
Bishop
helpful.
Yaroslav. In my judgment, her visions are genuine and her words sincere.
Thank you, Nicodemus. Your plea is very bold. But what you say about Hildegard and the others is true. You can rest assured I will consider your words very carefully.
Well, that's good indeed. I guess I still have Adela to pull in, right?
Heretics before, or had any suspicions of heresy here?
Not much, Monsignor. Now and then there have been traveling preachers and various charlatans here and there. Although, I did recently get reports that there were members of the Waldensian sect.
Okay, so that's coming into play. That's good. I did tell him about that.
I know of that.
Yep.
Henry here was helping the vicar to track them down. Unfortunately, though...
Yeah, let's not comment on how I let them go, but...
Thank you, Father Fabian.
But...
That's all.
I was helping track them down.
Service, Monsignor.
I thank you also, Brother Nicodemus. You too may stand down. Call Hoshek, bailiff of Sasau.
Okay, I wonder what he's gonna say about this. Because he's just a character witness, right? Like, he has no direct involvement.
Bailiff, has there been any suspicious activity here recently?
Well,
that's normal. Also, I killed them all, so you should thank me.
And all sorts of bands of footpads and brigands around the province.
Not relevant.
But otherwise, it's all been peaceful and quiet here, Monsignor.
How reassuring. And what of Johanka, bailiff? Has she been inciting the people here?
I couldn't tell you much about her. I hardly know her.
I barely know you either, bailiff.
And folks speak well of her.
I've literally, like, never spoken to this guy outside of this quest, I swear.
Things have been a bit tense here, on account of her speeches.
Continue.
Quite a lot of people have been going to her since she started with that preaching. Some are even convinced she's a holy woman. From what I heard, they bring her small gifts or ask for her advice.
That is true.
Sacrilege!
Oh.
People coming for blessings and bringing her gifts. That has all the makings of a cult.
Oh, I don't know, Monsignor. Begging your pardon, but that's...
Yeah, that was a very immediate reaction.
True. They met outside.
But it is true
too,
that they were bringing stuff and asking for blessings.
Nothing
This happened,
serious
yes.
Though. Fellas punching each other in the mouth. If you'll excuse me, Monsieur, that happens all the time. Well, that's about all I can tell you, Monsignor.
Thank you, bailiff. I will be all. And you, Henry, you've been around Johanka more than anyone. Do people come to her for blessings?
They do. Oh, but she doesn't bless them. Yep, there you go.
They come to her, yes. But I swear she never blessed anyone. But when someone comes to her, she tries to help them, like a good Christian.
Henry, I'm sure you're aware that to lie here is a mortal sin and a crime.
Yes, I know, but you could also ask any of the people who have asked her for blessings. And they could probably tell you the same. Call Adela.
Yes, Monsignor. I'd like you to listen to Adela. She amended her life and doesn't live in sin anymore, all because of Johanka. Her testimony will show that Johanka is an exemplary Christian, not the leader of some cult.
All right. Call this Adela.
Hey, Adela.
Adela, until recently you were living in the nearby town of Ledechko, is that so?
Yes.
And how did you make a living there?
I served at the baths, laundering and repairing clothes, and preparing the baths.
Is that all?
No. Sometimes I went with the fellas and pleasured them for money. But I don't do it anymore. I swear. I changed my ways on account of Johanka
here at this moment.
And Henry here, and now I lead a decent life.
Yeah.
You're saying you
not of encouragement, that's all you need.
Profession?
Yes. Henry convinced me, and Johanka took me in.
Very well. Thank you.
Oh, is that all?
Since
Okay.
You left Ledechko, have you sinned with anyone?
No, monsieur, I haven't.
Good. May God give you the will to maintain your virtue, Adela. And now...
This is respectable, right?
Please answer one more question.
Yeah, because she turned away from that and now lives a decent life.
Yes? Tell me what she says to the people.
It's like the whole Parthenax quote, which I can't quote out of my memory.
Sorts of problems. Some want just advice. some want her
Something
maybe
about
to
turning
bless
against their
them
own nature
or
and
talk to
becoming
Our
good
Lady
versus someone who
for
is
them.
born good,
They
right?
believe she's a holy woman.
They believe,
So,
but she doesn't believe it
Johanka
herself.
accepts gifts from these people and then gives them her blessing?
No, it's not like that.
Correct.
Johanka
There you go.
doesn't bless anyone.
She's not asking for the gifts, and she's
she
not
doesn't
blessing
want
them.
any gifts from anyone either. Folk just bring them. The things they bring, she gives them out to the sick and wounded. She doesn't keep anything. I swear.
You swear?
Yep.
Yes. I swear to it all, Monseigneur. I'd never lie to you.
All right. You may go. Now I wish to question Katja.
Oh no, not her.
Bring her here.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to, verbal sparring will be initiated. Here's where my 20 speech comes into play
Katja,
again.
You are a respected townswoman who has a good overview of what goes on in Sasau. As you told me earlier, will you tell me now what you know of Johanka and her deeds?
Alright,
Yes,
prepare for
I'll
lies.
tell you everything, Monsignor. Johanka has been putting ideas into people's heads and causing chaos. What right has she to preach to us? A simple girl like that. As if we were bad people here, and she herself is a sinner. And an adulterer, a loose woman she is, who goes with anyone. And even
This is
fornicated
true, and I did
with the
report this
custodian,
like
Sir
an idiot,
Sebastian.
but I reported it. That's not how it is. Say nothing, she's not telling you everything. She's not telling you everything.
Forgive me, Monsignor, but Katra isn't telling the whole truth.
What do you mean, Henry?
She's the one who set a band of thugs on Johanka several times.
True.
To cause trouble for her and threaten her. She wanted to drive Johanka out of town.
And
That's
now
not the
here she
deed of
is
a good
again.
Christian.
Yes,
Plotting intrigue
exactly.
like that. She admitted it all.
Deception.
Is that true?
I only did what was necessary to stop her from
You cannot
doing
lie
us
in this
harm.
place.
Monsignor, you can see yourself that Katra holds a grudge against Johanka.
Yes. I must agree with Henry.
Ha
In
ha!
view of your apparent antagonism
Witness
towards
testimony
Johanka,
devalued.
Whatever the reasons for it, I cannot allow you to influence these proceedings. You should have reported your concerns to Father Fabian instead of acting willfully as you did.
But she's bringing us nothing but trouble.
I will be the judge of her transgressions, not you. Nevertheless,
Uh-oh.
I have also heard rumors of Johanka's immorality that cannot be ignored. Bring here the Sasau custodian, Sir Sebastian
Well.
Volberg.
Let's see how this goes, because this did happen. And this is judgment worthy.
Sir
Although,
Sebastian,
she did give away all his
apologies
gifts
for
and money.
raising the matter.
So that helps.
Doubts have been cast on your virtue. I have been told that you have shared your bed with Johanka.
You cannot lie,
Is
Sebastian.
it true?
Monsignor, with respect, this is surely some mistake. Johanka is not a bad girl, and by no means
That's
a
not
heretic.
answering his question, is it?
Noted. Now please
Yeah,
answer
exactly.
my question. Did you share your bed with Johanka or not?
Well,
Yes, but she's not.
Silence!
oof.
So, Johanka not only incites rebellion against the nobles, but also seduces
Well, this was
them
more of
with
a
sin and
power
immorality.
discrepancy, right? He took advantage of her? Yeah. Yeah, I have to say, sorry to throw you under the bus, sir. Sir, what am I saying? I don't like this guy.
That's not true. Johanka never seduced anyone. It's the other way round. He wouldn't leave her alone from the moment she came to Sasau.
He threw me in jail for
He
this, by the
simply
way.
took advantage of her misfortune and his own status to get her into bed.
How dare you?
Silence!
But it's true.
Henry?
Hey, me throwing you under the bus is going to protect her,
What was she
okay?
to
Be
do
happy about
when
this.
She was constantly pursued by a nobleman who has great influence in the area.
I like that she's nodding
Did,
with me here.
I did out of love for her. Johanka is no heretic, only a confused, unhappy young girl. There's no call for jumping to the conclusion of heresy. Monsignor, you must be able to see that.
I advise caution, sir. Would you cast doubt on the authority of the Church in this trial?
I will no longer tolerate this humiliation.
Oh, he's just gonna leave.
Get out of my way.
Okay, well, this still proves my point. Okay, he came back.
Henry?
Okay, that's pretty funny.
You proved yourself a good servant of the Church when you told me of your disturbing findings concerning the situation hereabouts. You've been very keen to appear here in Johanka's defense. You've said a lot about her, but please, tell me why you've been helping her all this time.
Because she just happens to be from the same village as me. Because of her deeds, the Virgin Mary speaks for her. She's my friend. Oh, crap. Deeds!
Because I don't know anyone like her. She endured.
Saying that she's just my friend makes me biased.
Never gave up. She never wasted time feeling sorry
I
for
also,
herself.
I
Instead,
don't know if I
she
should have
helped
gone with the
others,
Mary thing,
even at
but
the cost of her own suffering. And she helped
but
to
this
redeem me.
this is true, even if I don't agree with all her methods all the time.
It seems you speak sincerely, and you hold her in high regard. Your sincerity before God carries great weight. Thank you.
Well, thank
That will
you.
be all, Henry.
Okay. Present a clever argument. Speech
Monsignor,
20.
Please permit me
Speech
to say
20.
one more thing. I heard some wise words at a sermon in Skalitz, and I think I should share them here. It's our Christian duty to fight against sin. But we must love the sinner. So I beg you, Monsignor, be lenient to Johanka.
You're right, Henry. Those are wise words. Nothing remains but to question Johanka herself.
Okay, don't shit the bed, Johanka, okay?
Johanka of Skalitz.
I've done my best to
You've heard the
convince you.
accusations brought against you, and we
Matthias
also
has done
heard
his best to
several
convince you.
testimonies. I already questioned you earlier. Johanka, do you wish to revise the answers you gave earlier, or do you stand by what you said?
I stand by everything I told you.
Okay, but what did you tell him? What did you tell him?
I expressly forbade you to continue preaching.
Forbade you?
And you promised not to do so. You defied my instruction and broke your promise. Why?
Forgive me, Monsignor. But I could do nothing else. Our Lady asked me to do it, and I couldn't refuse her.
Okay, nod at me. Good, good,
She
good.
did visit me.
Hold it back. Yes, good.
Now
Thank
I
you.
admit that I might have been
Thank
wrong
you.
about
Whew.
some things. I don't understand these learned matters, and I was too hasty in speaking to the people. I regret that I didn't go first to Father Fabian and tell him about everything.
Yep, just keep looking at me. Okay.
I want to apologize here, before the Blessed Virgin. If I misunderstood something and said untruths or brought shame on the Church, I didn't intend to do anything like that. I ask Our Lady's forgiveness, and I will accept any punishment that you impose on me.
I'm pleased that you've seen the error of your ways and confessed to your mistakes. These proceedings are closed. You may leave.
Okay. Like, leave as a...
Johanka will now
Oh,
hear
I was gonna say,
my
leave as like a
verdict.
free person, or... Okay, what's the verdict? Oh, she sent everyone out.
Johanka, are you aware you're facing very grave accusations?
Yes, Monsignor. I am.
You stand
Oh.
accused of preaching from ignorance and leading the people away from the protective embrace of Holy Mother.
There better not be like a beheading thing here. Or a burning at the
Do not
stake thing
recant.
here.
You will suffer grave consequences. Pride and ignorance.
There's a sword there!
Her reason. Child, it would distress me greatly to have to pronounce a verdict of condemnation. Speak then. Do you recant your sermons and swear never again to preach to the people?
Johanka?
And are you prepared to repent?
That almost looks like my buddy Herman, doesn't it? The executioner.
As God is my witness, I did all this with good intentions.
But...
And I sincerely repent of my sins of conceit.
Okay, it's not great.
I confess that I was led by my pride to believe the Virgin Mary chose me to put the world to rights. And I set myself above the learned prelates of the church and
So
the
this is
divine
the
right of
annoying part, right?
nobility.
Public humiliation.
I repent my
The
sins
things she
of
says
pride
are not wrong,
and ask forgiveness.
but it's the might of the church and, again, rich people, as always. So, what can she do?
Johanka has confessed her guilt. From this day forward, she'll be a good and humble Christian.
If she didn't
again.
do stuff like this, they would just make an example of her.
She shall no longer indulge in philosophizing, and shall, in her penitent's robe, go every day to pray at the Church of St. Martin. Therefore, I ask you to welcome Johanka back into your midst.
I mean, she'll still be a pariah.
Hold no grudge against
I mean,
her.
you can ask them, sure, but are they gonna listen? And they're just leaving.
If the Virgin Mary should happen to visit you again, tell Father Fabian he will send for me. All right?
Yes, Signor.
I guess this is as good as it could be, I think. Right? If you do get them again, there's a quote-unquote legal way to proceed, so... Well, that's nice, I guess. It could have gone a lot... could have been a lot worse, I feel.
Johanka was cleared of all charges of heresy.
Random Henry
The Inquisitor,
narration.
his job
Okay.
done and his verdict
Unexpected.
pronounced, left Sasau for good. Matthias recovered from his illness, and he and Johanka finally met again. It was a happy sight to see them both alive and well after their trials. Who knows what awaits them now? Or all of us, for that matter.
Again, was not expecting a random Henry narration. That just... We've never had that in any of the stories and quests that we've done, but, okay, well then. I guess we should just call it right here for this episode. In that case, have a great day. Thank you for watching. This has been Karst with Kingdom Come Deliverance, and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye now.